Butch, to start out, how are you going to set up the pitching this weekend?
Yeah, we'll go Vail. We'll put Vail back in that first spot. He's been there before. And the new starter for SEC play will be Drew Nelson on Saturday. His last few innings and outings been fairly favorable, competitive, and been the one pitcher that's kind of come to the office and kind of exclaimed wanting the baseball. So I want to respect that as we're still trying to slow down shuffling the deck. I think we've taken a look under the hood, at least myself personally, the last couple of weeks, and see what our challenges are. And they're continuing, and how to get out of them is to kind of reset and get settled back in from things we've been chasing here the last 3 weeks. So Vail will get the first game. Drew Nelson, I'm excited about him. I think he's going to start a lot of games here. He's really, from his first start, opening weekend, went back to the drawing boards, built himself back up, and earned this. So I think there's something positive to that. We'll stay TBA on game 3 on Sunday, and if we got a chance to win a ball game, you probably want Cannon back in there. I would say this reflection over the last 3 weeks is making sure you have as many bullpen pieces as possible when you have a chance to win a ball game. Thought that hurt us in last week's series against A&M, and we think we need as many pieces as we possibly can. If a game or two don't go our way the first couple of games, and we have not used Cannon in a ball game, then he's probably our number one competitor right now. So I'm looking for competitive spirit, competitive nature, and it gives us the best chance to. I need somebody to go out there and get a game started. And it doesn't take a million, but I need 1 or 2 guys to go out there and reset a good rhythm for our ball club. And so we'll go Vail, Nelson, TBA, and if we got a chance to win a game, we'll use Cannon and go to somebody else. Alabama has an alternating lineup where it'll be left, right, very military type setup. So it'll be an alternating lineup throughout, like they've played all year, I would assume.
Cannon for him, just about getting you mentioned competitive, being in those opportunity to have him in those competitive game moments that you talk about all the time.
Yeah, I just think that's where he excels. I want us to be good enough to keep him there. Tough finish for him last Tuesday. This most recent game. Gosh, I love watching him compete on the mound. That's what it's supposed to look like. Getting us out of the inning prior, and just his presence. I think the team plays behind that well. I'm looking for those pieces, every piece I can get like that. He looks at home there, embraces it, thrives in that moment, wants it. So everything's intact there for us, and I want us to be good enough to be able to have a chance to win a game, win a series with him playing that role.
I think it's been a few weeks now. Is it? I guess it's okay to ask a Joseph Gonzalez question, how he's coming along, if there's any status update there.
Yeah, he hadn't really been traveling with us. He's making this trip. This is his first week of throwing. That's fair. I told you it'd be 6 weeks. He got a good report, A-Day, from Dr. Andrews again, second in-person type deal. So he did start throwing this week. I don't think he's at the threshold of throwing to where you could feel pain yet, if anything's still in there. But we might be tracking for 3 series, missing the next 2 if things progress. But I'm happy to start giving an update every week. I think that's respectful to see if we can shoot for that. So I'm kind of day-to-day right now. So I think we're back home next week. I think he would be out that series, but would really be getting on the mound after throwing for a couple of weeks, and maybe that whatever series is right after that, there may be a shot.
You guys played Alabama in the fall, obviously very familiar with them. What stands out about them as you head to Tuscaloosa?
Veteran lineup. I just look at somebody right there tucked in the middle, Drew Williamson. Just those rich stats across the board. It's a walk per strikeout. It's home runs. It's batting average. It's RBIs knocked in. I think they all piece. I think they move up from him and move down from him. And guys that's played a long time. Jarvis, a shortstop. think Ed Johnson's played good for them, and just really preparing for them. Those are the three guys that are trending pretty good. And then you got a Hamilton that can have a great at bat for you, and has had some. Seidel's another hot hitter for them right now. So it's just a really complete lineup. Pickney was one of the best athletes we've seen on the field. He's played some center and moved around a little bit, but pretty talented. And like I said, it's just going to be that left-right. You can't just get a setup and think you can come in there if you're a right-handed pitcher and, you know, face all righties. It's going to go back and forth. And you need to have your stuff set and be able to move the ball around the zone, because they're alternating hitters. They're not the only ones that do that, of course, but they definitely do it with some veteranness to their lineup.
Which can you talk about Edouard getting called up yesterday? That's 58 big leaguers, and according to George, 7 just since 2020. Those are all guys you coached here. Thoughts on his opportunity and that big number? Yeah,
it's huge. I love telling Coach Dry, you got to order another number for the wall. That's what we're in the business of. That's another secondary awesome feature. So that's a good lick. You know, the statue last weekend, 58th big leaguer called up this week. Those are all huge things. And I think the 7 you mentioned, I think George told me that it was second, tied for second in our league. And it's, you know, pretty good league. So we're excited about Edouard. We felt that he had the opportunity or the skill set to potentially be a big leaguer. He played here 2 leagues. He was it was really unique. I think he had the most RBIs in the 2-year span he played, and the most strikeouts. It was really good. I think his strike zones continue to evolve, playing so many more games and working his way up. And to see him, I think he played second base yesterday, to see him play second base. And I watched him in the World, what was it called? The World Baseball Classic for Canada. And I don't think anybody was wondering if it was more when, and it happened for him yesterday. So huge deal for everybody, for our fans, for our players to respect, for our alumni to be excited about, for sure.
When you look at I guess just kind of the struggles on the mound, how much of it is, you know, I guess kind of working with guys in bullpen and tinkering with stuff they're doing, or more like a matter of just kind of getting the youth and inexperience, you know, but the reps that they maybe need to develop, so to speak?
All of it. I'm disappointed for the guys because they give us good effort. Tuesday night was another great effort for our ball club. I just think about, so it's all those things. It's like, all right, what's your recipe? Don't try to throw everything as hard as you can. If you're going to get barrels moving, then you got to get in the zone before somebody's going to chase you. You just can't walk up there. You have to control what you can control. It's a function of being caught. I think I tried to talk about how much we lost without trying to make that big a deal, and can we hide it, and can these guys just be great? I really know how tough it is to be young in this league, with some great ones that we've had that really had a tough time as freshmen. And then you get in a point where you're doing all these things, you're moving them around, and sometimes it just makes it even more challenging for them. So we're trying to sit back in there and just we're all just hoping for them to grab it and start going again. I think they've heard the right messaging. I think they're trying. I think they're hanging in there the best they can. I think our position players have been great and patient. They've continued to play hard. Our challenge is for coaches of knowing that they'll hook it up and get it going. But you know, leaning on our culture for a minute, temporarily, and continuing to try to challenge each of us to go out there and give it our all. You know, this will pass, and this will get hooked up again, and then you'll have another challenge as a coach that you're always chasing. But I'm trying to tell them I believe in them. I've probably been the hardest messaging to them. I've tried to get after them a little bit. You know, we can't do what we want to do till we can put our head in the mitt. I said it 14 times in a row. They probably thought I was going crazy. I've been reminded that I've said it four times post game on the radio. But I think it's important. I don't think it's me going crazy. I think it's okay to speak truth at times. Of course, a player knows he's supposed to throw strikes. You got all that, and it makes a player mad. But I think it's good not to avoid the elephants in the room, so to speak. And I think this is one of those times where we do. For us to be able to do what we want to do, we got to be able to put our head in the mitt, do it consistently, because I think that's where you'll find your game. All right, so we're going to get hit hard. Well, let's make a choice of a path that we're going to go down. We're going to get hit hard, level one, and then we're going to learn how to take the sting out of the swing to allow this game to be 9-on-1 like it's set up, and you got a defense to work with, and then you produce swing and miss. Because how I know we're far off, because our best pitching staffs that I've had in the last 2 decades, they're probably striking over 600 guys a year, and they're not walking at the rate that we're walking guys now. So that's level 3, and we're still playing checkers right now. We got off to a pretty good start, and then this run here in the middle, we're absolutely playing checkers. I mean, the best. It's not just all electricity and all this talent that gets you to the swing and miss, but we're trying to get from level 1 to level 2 and take the sting out, but do it within the confines of the strike zone. We need everybody to go there, and then you get to the point, maybe that 3rd level, the deepest, richest level, is getting to the point of swing and miss, which we're still a couple levels off. So we're trying to get in the zone. We're trying to take the sting out of the swing, trying to incorporate a defense. As a staff, like I said, we got a couple guys really competing, and we're still trying to get a few more guys comfortable. But things can get better quickly if we could just get a couple guys to go out there and grab a outing and like, this game is mine, and cover as much of it as they can to get us back on track. Nobody's really done that, and that's made us all kind of look the same. And if we could get a couple pieces to do that, that could change our outlook quick. We have 6 weeks of conference play left. We have 18 games, and absolutely have trended week by week, kind of making it more challenging. But at the same time, one positive weekend can really get you going in a different direction. So that's where we find ourselves today.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you.